And now, our feature presentation.
Hey everybody, before we get started, I just wanted to throw this out there real quick that yes, we do talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus. However, it is literally in the first 4 minutes of the podcast. It is very short, very concise to the point. There is no spoilers story-wise. There might be a spoiler or two related to Pokemon or mechanics. So if you don't want to hear that, just skip ahead 4 minutes. Like once the podcast starts. Okay, bye. Hello, welcome to another episode of It Sure Is a Podcast. This is going to be the Sonic Speed Runner episode for a few reasons.
One, I feel like death.
Eric feels and definitely looks like death.
I was sabotaged by my sister-in-law's boyfriend. He made wonderful drinks, but they were like 99% alcohol.
Is it like that meme where it's like just a shot of vodka and pours in half the bottle into the thing?
It was basically that, and I didn't realize it until it was like 2 a.m, and I was out. It was supposed to be a Harry Potter marathon, and it turned into like a drinking marathon with Harry Potter going in the background.
Yeah, that's usually what happens whenever you try to watch Harry Potter.
I'm too old for that. I can't drink like that. I'm 30. I just can't do it.
Can't do it anymore. You went over that hill. So we have that counting against us. We also have the fact that I forgot my power cord counting against us. So this computer might just die in the middle of this. But also, it took us like way too long to set everything up. The settings all changed because the program we used updated. So this episode could be completely scuffed. It could sound different. I am actually in the process of having a guy teach me the ropes so we can have a consistent sound quality, because I know that's something we're not that great at yet. So
kind of enjoy that though.
It keeps it fresh, keeps it spicy. So I'm setting myself a timer. Ow, I just hit the table I'm using, which isn't a table. It's literally a travel bag of purple color. I'm setting a timer for myself. This timer is going to be for 4 minutes, 10 seconds, and I'm going to dump everything that I have experienced with Pokemon Legends Arceus. All right, we got the timer. We're scrolling down. We're 4. We're getting to the 10. You ready? You ready for this? All right. Boom. All right, Pokemon Legends Arceus. In the beginning, there is a long tutorial. I'm warning everyone right now. I'm also warning everyone that yes, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, and pretty much Pokemon to me is like sex. Even if it's bad, it's still good. So even like the new Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Diamond, the remakes, I thought they were poo-poo, but I actually still really enjoyed them, right? So that's where I'm coming from. Okay, so after the tutorial, you are really given this freedom to explore the Hisui region, and Hisui, the region that the game takes place in. And once you get to be able to explore and experiment yourself, the game is incredibly rewarding. And I don't want to spoil anything. So imagine like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild mixed with Pokemon. That's what everyone's saying. I'm more like it's Monster Hunter mixed with Pokemon, where there's like 3 or 4 big regions to explore. Pokemon come out at certain times a day. There's areas where you can sneak up on them and throw a Pokeball on them. You always have your party with you. You have mounts. There's quests that you can complete. And it gives you a lot of freedom. And I think just because us as Pokemon fans have been stuck in follow this route, go to the gym, go do this. This is very refreshing because we have a lot of options for us to experiment, options for us to take things at our own pace instead of just rushing through everything. Evolution's done a little different now because it's not relying on, oh, you have this version, so you have these Pokemon, you have that version, so you have those, we have to trade for them to evolve. That's not the case anymore. Also, the combat system has kind of changed. It's very Chrono Trigger-like, where I see you pointing over there. Let me rant this out because I have 2 minutes, 18 seconds left.
Okay.
It's kind of like Chrono Trigger, where you're just in the open world. When you encounter a Pokemon, boom, you're in the battle. You have your Pokemon there, and you can run around them, and you can issue commands. Now, there's Agile style and strong style. Strong style, you do more damage, but you give up a turn. Agile style, you give yourself a second turn, but you don't do as much damage. So the combat has been tweaked a little bit to fit this new format. Now, the cool thing is, in old Pokemon games, you would see a Pokemon and you would just run at it as fast as you can to catch it, right? Even if it was in the overworld or even if it was in the grass, you just run at it. Now, that's not advised because the Pokemon attack you. Literally, if you get near like a Rhyhorns are not friendly. They'll see you, they just start charging you. They're beating you up. I've actually died many times. This game is actually challenging. It actually challenges the player and wants you to play smart. There's a crafting mechanic where all these different resources are in the world, and instead of using a pickaxe or pulling them out of the ground, you throw your Pokeball at it and your Pokemon rips it out of the ground. Your Pokemon breaks it and gives it to you.
That's awesome.
And then there's areas that are blocked off, and when I was exploring the map, I found this giant rock boulder in my way, and I was thinking, I wonder, right? I threw my Pokemon at it, Mime Jr. comes out, Mime Jr. breaks this rock clean in half and like pushes the piece out of the way, and he's like, alright, you're good to go through. And I thought that was super cool. Now, the game is structured that there's a big old home base where the story segments take place, but also you level up a rank that allows you to catch, higher level Pokemon. Even when you're a lower rank, you can catch high level Pokemon. I accidentally, at level 11, my level 11 ass was running through this part and I saw a Stantler. A big old Stantler. It was enraged. It was an alpha. Alphas are like the boss monsters of a region. And I was thinking, I wonder. So I snuck up on it, got right on it, and I chucked a Pokeball right at its dumb head, right? Bounced right off. I caught it. And the statistic, number percentage for that is ridiculous. It's like a 0.5% chance, but I got it. And that sense of discovery is so refreshing, and going into the game completely blind is recommended. Because I went in blind and I'm just soaking it up like a kid with a Capri Sun. All right, I think I got everything out. Done.
Nice. Now I'm gonna have to go and buy it.
Now, do you have any questions? Because there was parts where you raising your hand and
honestly,
you're like, "Oh,
the
question, teacher."
I was curious if it was still like turn-based combat, but
it is. Yeah, but it's a lot faster, and
that's what I like. That's why I could never play the Pokemon games. I played the very originals when they came out, but it was just so slow. And as you're walking around, you're constantly getting stopped, fighting, or running away. It just that I don't know. It got so slow. It got to the point where I'm like, I can't play this. So this sounds like it's a little bit more fluid. And
yeah, there's no going into battle, no coming out of battle, and it's just. I think I'm having so much fun with it because I knew nothing about it. I knew it existed, and I saw one trailer, and then I was like, I'm not looking up anything else because I want to surprise myself.
That's how games used to be, though. You just go in blind, so even if they were crap, you didn't know. Because you're like, all right, I'm going to accept this for what it is, and if I'm having fun playing it, awesome.
I mean, it does sometimes look like a PS2 game, but graphics never mattered to me.
Pokemon have never had great graphics.
They really focus on the gameplay and everything related to that. Yeah, so that was my spiel on Pokemon. Like I said, everyone on the internet is just going out of their way to spoil stuff for people, and I'm like, I really think this is one of those games that you need to just, if you're a big Pokemon fan, you just need to go in blind. That's the best way. Because the mechanics that are different, you're going to be like, wow, it took them 30 plus years to figure this out, but they did it.
Oh my God, it really has been 30 years.
I think it's technically 20 or 25 in that range.
Yeah, 20, but yeah, between 20 and 25, because I was...
Well, it came out in 90.
I was pretty young when it came out. something
99.
Like that.
So it'd probably be closer to 20, maybe a little older. But yeah. So
still took them decades.
Decades. It really did. Decades. So I just wanted to word vomit that out at the beginning of the episode. And then we can really start the episode today with something of great importance. We are going... Why is my timer going off? Hold on. Timer's still on. Timer's like, yo, I'm going to go off again in a minute if you don't shut me off. I love the timers on phones, but also sometimes my timer just likes to reset itself and bring itself back to life. And I'm like, I killed you. I brought you into this world. I took you out. Why are you still here? Yes. All right, here we go. In the world of news, this is super interesting.
Gaming news or just news?
A combination of both.
Huh.
Okay. So, Italy was having a Senate right? Italian Senate. They were talking about things that are pertinent to Italy. Couldn't tell you what they were talking about. But here's the article, because everyone's doing everything virtually, right? So they're all on this big web thing and like everyone can see it. So Italian Senate meeting interrupted by Final Fantasy hentai.
That's awesome.
And it's Tifa just getting absolutely just railed by some dude.
Is it animated or was it?
Yeah,
cosplay?
it's like the graphics of the game, but it's just them two doing it. I haven't seen the video, so I don't know who is railing Tifa, but someone's railing Tifa.
I guess it would be Cloud or Barrett.
Probably. So, let me just read you just the setup, the context for everything in this article. As is happening in all spheres, the Italian Senate currently conducts some of its business via virtual meetings. This Monday, a meeting was held during which various academic, medical, and scientific experts called in to present data to Italian senators, a typical day in national politics. So it wasn't even like COVID related, it was just throwing stuff out there, just politics stuff, right? That is until one miscreant managed to enter the meeting and stream a pornographic video of Final Fantasy VII's Tifa Lockhart. A speaker was introducing the results of their research when the feed was taken over. The video was 3D rendered in Unreal and features Tifa and an unidentified male character having sex. A senator can be heard asking, "What is this?" This, my friend, is Rule 34. That's actually in the article. The senator's speaker realized what was happening and asked the organizers to help get rid of the offending guest, and the individual who streamed the video was removed from the call. Amongst the grandees attending this meeting, okay, I'm not going to run through all the names, but there was a guy who was a 2021 Nobel Peace Prize for physics. There was a guy who... Okay, I could literally go through here and read all the very important people and their titles.
We're just going to call them nerds, and so they've all probably already seen this video.
They probably have, but the person sitting there like, is my computer streaming this? Oh no, and the senator's like touches, like, making sure nothing's going on.
Oh, that would be even better if it wasn't done on purpose, if it was on accident.
That was the thing. Rumor was going around at first that like maybe it was like a senator who had it in a tab and accidentally brought it up. But according to this, someone got into the meeting, hacked their way in.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. I'm willing to bet one of them just accidentally played it.
It probably was, and
because if somebody
another
hacked
source said it like lasted for 5 minutes. No one knew how to shut it off.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If somebody hacked it, I don't think you're just going to click a button and get rid of them.
Yeah. So the one senator said, "Yes, I'm making a report to the police. A porno film suddenly aired on the monitor of the conference we were holding for the Senate. This afternoon, there was a very serious episode, a real attack against which I express absolute disdain. During an online conference, someone broke in secretly by transmitting a video with pornographic content." And then the rest is just, oh, we're just going to find this person and we're going to...
Thank him?
Thank him? No, I think they're all going to be very upset with him.
It's the Nobel Peace Prize winner. He's like, damn it, I knew I forgot to do something before this Zoom
I forgot
meeting.
to close out that tab. Come on.
It helps me think while I am doing my research.
His physics.
Oh, he's researching something physical.
It helps me understand physics if I watch this while I work with physics. Yeah, so that was interesting in the world of gaming. That just a bunch of
senators watching porn,
just hanging out, and I still think it was really someone in the senator meeting.
And it's just an old person who's like, I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how to stop it.
You see those memes online that happens all the time with like teachers, especially, like they're showing like on their screen.
I know they don't
subject for a class, and then you see in the tabs, you're like, okay, studying statistics in our modern age. Pornhub?
Big busty Latina 7. What?
That's usually when I feel you have a problem, when you're like at a workplace and you just are sitting there like, I'm just gonna look this up because I'm bored.
I know teachers don't make a lot of money, but like if you're gonna do that, have 2 separate computers. Have a work computer, and then have your porn laptop. Just go buy like a cheap $200 crappy laptop. All it needs is an internet connection.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, there was the one that is like, this is the nice school computer with the, but that's a thing. I remember reading on Reddit where people like would get in trouble for like, I looked up porn on my work computer.
Why would you look it up on your work
computer?
Why would you
look it up on your work computer? That's what I don't understand.
I made a joke one time because I had to take my laptop from work home because I had to do some stuff over the weekend to make sure I didn't fall behind.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, are you guys cool if I do this? Like, take it home? Like, am I allowed to take this out? Because I work in... It's not like I'm in a business field. I'm in a manufacturing field, so I don't normally do that. But anyway, they were like, yeah, cool. And they made the joke. They're like, you know, just don't get any viruses from all the porn. And then my dumbass looked at him and was like, I have a phone. I'm not going to watch porn on the laptop. That's too much effort. And they were just like, as long as it doesn't come back with a virus, we don't care.
Good, they're cool about that, but like that's when they know there's a, you know, there might be a problem.
Close out your tabs.
Yeah, I don't.
How hard is it to click? That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know. It's bonkers billies to me that, you know,
it
that's
really is just
a thing that keeps popping up.
It's the Dane Cook joke of the Google search history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I if you haven't seen it, go watch it because I think we actually said it not too long ago. But anyway, yeah, I typed in A.
Asian ass porn.
Thanks, Google.
Yeah, it's just close it out. You know, if you're done with your business, close it out. Or if you're going to be showing your computer people, close it out. I don't even like on my work computer. I don't even like to go to like look up like something personal for me, especially during COVID. I would have my actual laptop sitting next to there, and literally I would just look up how to evolve this Pokemon, but I would not even dare do that on my work computer.
Oh yeah, no,
because they scrub it and they're like, oh, I see you were looking up how to level up a Clefairy, and I'm like, yes, it's with a Moonstone, Gary.
Don't shame me, Gary.
Yeah, that's when I'm just kind of.
What do we find if we look at your laptop, Gary?
Gary. I don't get that aspect of it. Like, I would never ever search up anything not work related. Like when I hand my laptop in, whatever day I finally end up quitting, they're gonna look at it and be like, this guy has the messiest desktop I ever seen. But other than that, everything's fine. My computer is so slow because my desktop is filled with files.
You're so much better than me. If I was ever gonna do that, I would put just terabytes of porn, of like pornographic images in there and turn it in.
Just
they're like
minutes.
we can see that this was all downloaded in like the last 24 hours. Yeah, I know. I
just wanted you to have something.
You guys are all so miserable. I just thought this would help you.
Yeah, something to help you get through the process.
I'm a lady. There's some guy on guy in there for you, ma'am. Like, go for it.
I got everything.
There is nothing that is not in there.
There is at least one of every genre. And then you lean into...
There might be a few illegal ones in there, too, so you should probably scrub this real fast.
You lean in, you're like, every kind. You whisper it in her ear, and she's sitting there like, oh my God.
I'm going to erase this after lunch.
Yeah, after lunch. Which, it's lunch now.
And then, Gary, can you come in here? I need some help, please. You're just like, ew, Gary. Walk away.
Gary.
You got Steve over there. Why are you calling Gary?
The work computer and the... Yeah. So the Italian Conference of Senators, very high up, very important, was bombed with some Final Fantasy porn. Mm-hmm.
That person was using their ultimate move on Tifa.
Yeah, the ultimate final.
Would you like to see my ultimate weapon?
It's a Buster sword. Bust her. There's a joke there. Figure it out. Buster, I don't even know her. There you go. There it is. Hi, welcome to sleep deprivation. Well, I'm not sleep deprived. I just came back from the gym. I'm tired.
I am very sleep deprived. I am so sleep deprived that I actually had something. This is how we got food this morning because I was like, I'm not cooking today. I don't care. But we got stuff. I got Diet Coke, and in my mind, I was like, haha, Diet Coke. Haha, Diet Coke. And then my brain was so sleep deprived, I literally sat there and thought about this while waiting for the food. What would you consider a Diet Coke?
A Diet Coke?
I want to see if your brain followed the same route mine did.
Diet Coke?
Like if a girl's like, I'm not in the mood for regular, like I need some diet.
What? Okay. Well,
I can see you're struggling with this
I feel
concept.
like a Diet Coke would just be, okay, so if we're taking the word diet, which, I'm very familiar with that right now, it's regulating what you eat, and it's also regulating portion size. So if you want a Diet Coke, I think you would want to have maybe a little bit smaller of a portion.
See, that's where my mind went first. But then I thought of diet in a different sense. Diet doesn't, as far as like pop goes and the food and stuff, it's not necessarily, as it relates to food, it's not smaller. It's supposed to be healthier because it's like diet pop, you're replacing real sugar with that nasty cancer-giving crap.
Yes.
So this is where my mind went. Everybody bear with me. I'll be done with this and we can move on in a second. But I was like, oh, okay, so you're basically taking what is a good product and you're just making it crappy. So it's not a smaller one. It just is like fake. It has less substance. And I was like, Diet Coke would be vasectomy.
Diet Coke would be vasectomy.
Because you get to have as much as you want without, you're supposed to be able to not feel the guilt afterwards. So
there's no
drinking,
no guilt in the...
Yep. Diet pop is, I'm having it, but I'm not having sugar. And then so Diet Dick would be, I'm having it, but I'm not having a baby.
That is, you thought way too deep about that. You went down into the wrinkles of my brain.
That's
and,
what happened.
Opened up a part of my brain that I didn't know existed.
That is what happened while I sat in line waiting. That is.
Were you in the drive-thru?
Yes.
All right.
And it took a while.
I feel like it'd be a little more awkward if you just standing there thinking about it in the wherever you got
that
breakfast.
Would have been so much funnier. But yes, that is. So if anybody asks why I don't give away my deepest, darkest feelings, it's because that is just the surface level of what happens when I can't control my own thoughts because I'm tired.
Sleep deprivation is. I sometimes think it's even a little worse than drunk. Only because your brain's like, oh, I'm not drunk. I'm just tired.
Well, that's what
I'm gonna go do all this, and
then we woke up
Oh.
this morning, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're hungover." I'm like, a little bit, yes, but it was more. I had very little sleep, and I was dehydrated as all heck.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Did
you have the Gatorade or Pedialyte next to the bed?
We had it here at the house because we spent the night at my sister's.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so you did.
So I had to suffer through the drive home, and then I immediately ran and like a baby, grabbed it and chugged it like a bottle. I'm like, yes, Pedialyte.
I distinctly remember when I used to go out on the all-night bingers, I would, when I come home, stumble in through the door. I probably shouldn't have been stumbling through the door, but I stumble in through the door, and I have a Pedialyte ready to go.
Yep.
I pour it in this big mug with this crazy spinny straw that hangs over.
Oh, that's
so I can literally put it next to my bed. And face down, I can just scoop my head over, just wrap my lips around
just
it.
Just the gerbil water tube thing.
That's pretty much
it. That's such a good idea.
It's next to my bed. We could patent that and just literally have that for people. So you're just face down, And I think that's the same time as a grown adult that I just full on just shit myself. I was a full on it was a full on bender. I went out with drinks for some people. And met some people from work.
And
then I headed home. But the story of it was this is in the not safe days, and I don't condone this. I distinctly remember two things after I left, going through the Taco Bell drive-thru and then pulling in my driveway, and the Taco Bell food gone. I don't remember anything in between that. Yeah, it's not good. Do not condone that. That was me being a very stupid in my.
I also have one similar story where something like that happened, and I was so terrified. I never again.
Never again. Yeah, it's a dumb decision, but that was my.
And then you got out and you saw the blood on your car, and you're like,
in the
oh,
body,
no.
you have to scrape off. You're like,
the arm was stuck in the wheel.
Yeah, and in the grill is someone's head, and you got to rip that out and throw it away.
You gotta take a toothbrush to clean it all out.
You got to really get in there. But as soon as I went upstairs, I got my drink, sat next to my bed, and went to bed, right? And I know you're not supposed to lay on your stomach. You're supposed to be in the recovery position where you're on your side. Almost, it's pretty much the same position for a seizure. Whenever someone has a seizure, I don't know if you've ever had to deal with someone like that, but you have to lay them on their side, put their one arm under their head, make sure the other arm's there, and then pump up one of their legs like folded and have the other one straight out. I know it's hard to explain, and
I
I
mean,
hope
I
you
get-
never have to deal with that with anyone. 'Cause
I've never had to do that, but I know you're not supposed to have them lay on their back.
Right.
But I didn't know there was like an actual pose.
There's an actual pose, and I think a bunch of alcoholics adopted that pose and was just like, all right, we're going to do that too when we drink too much. Because when you lay like that, if you throw up, it comes out instead of like if you're on your back.
Oh, yeah, you can choke on it.
Or like if you're on face down, you could even like
still
almost drown in it if it's enough.
If it's a lot.
So yeah, I'm laying there.
Saving lives.
Yeah, look at us.
So remember, all you alcoholics, don't sleep on your back. Sleep on your
Recovery
side.
position. Sleep on your side. Where was I going with? Oh yeah. So after all that, the next morning comes. I, like a hamster, wiggle my way over and suck out of the giant mug.
I'm just imagining you wrapped up like a burrito in your blanket too, and literally doing the worm crawl across the bed.
You're probably not far off on what really happened. So yeah, take a sip and it's morning, and I'm like opening my eyes. It's encrusted with eye boogers and gross gunk that your eyes make. And I like literally have to like rip my eyes open to be able to see bloodshot eyes.
It's just that meme of that dude who's like sitting up.
Yeah.
I can't.
Eyes can't open. Finally, when they did open, I'm sitting there. I look at the time. It's like almost noon. I'm like, what happened, right? So I'm laying there and I'm just figuring out like, all right, what do I do? Did I kill anyone? I don't remember a lot.
Look at your phone. Like, is there anything I should be worried about?
Yeah,
that's
like
now
someone
on my
messages
phone?
you and say like, did you see Brent? I don't see Brent anywhere.
Your
We
boss
can't
texts
find
you
him.
and she's like, delete that video we made and you get to keep your job.
thinking of where I worked before then, that would pretty much be like, remember like the Goblin King from the Hobbit movies?
Yeah.
That's what it would be like. It'd
Brood Mother from Dragon Age?
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
So I'm laying there. We got to finish this story. We're not going to get anywhere. So I'm laying there, and like literally all of a sudden, I just like I'm sitting there. I'm like, I got a fart. Yeah, I think it's just a fart. And
Oh no, it's
wasn't.
never just a fart.
It wasn't. It was like a. And I was like, huh.
It's just that moment when you're like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's just the alcohol combined with Taco Bell. You never stood a chance.
I never did stand a chance. Let's be real. I was not destined to make it out of that situation without pooping my pants.
That's the universe, like, don't do it again.
And then, like, the next time I saw the people I work with when we're, well, all at work, they're asking, like, yeah, you know, how'd you feel after that? And I'm like, I'll be real. That was the first time as a grown adult I shit myself. I was just open and honest. They're like, what? And I explained the whole story. It's just told now. And they're like, oh my goodness.
They're like,
It was after that I really lost my my lust for, you know, running around and going to bars and being, woo, drink all the time. I really lost it that day.
It's fun for like a month or two, and then after I lost my interest in the bar scene.
I think what's more enjoyable is honestly, I mean, kind of like what you and your wife do is pretty much the same what I do. You just get a few drinks, you just feel nice, you feel a little buzzed, and you just do some stuff around the house, hang out, veg out. That's it.
That's our like weekend. That's how we know we're getting old. Is we just like to have a couple drinks. We don't like to get hammered. Whenever we do it, we're always like, we didn't even mean to do that. We didn't want to, but we're old, so it can sneak up on us. But
yeah. And also you're sitting, so like you don't really realize that until
that's what kills us is we're like, we're gonna be lazy. We're just gonna play video games and, you know, have just a couple drinks. And then you go to stand up and you're like, oh my god, I've been sitting here drinking and playing video games for like 6 hours.
And it all hits you. And your whole body feels tingly and it feels weird in places, and then you're like peeing your pants and then you're like, what is happening? I'm cold, so I pissed myself so I'm warm. But like as soon as like it sits there for a little bit, it's gonna get,
then it gets cold and you're like, oh.
Then you're just sitting in your cold piss. You probably just want to go down the route of just go to the bathroom, dude. It's always a fun adventure when you realize that you've been drinking. It's like, woo, whoa.
And then the spins hit and you're like, Anyway, this is just me complaining because I'm old and I'm still a little dizzy from drinking. And not having enough water.
Hey, that was your wife's sister's boyfriend's
Travis.
fault.
He just good drinks, amazing bartender, but Wow.
Right, and I asked you
It
literally.
was like pure alcohol when
I asked you when you told me. I was like, "Did he do it on purpose?" And you were like, "No."
No, he was like mixing them up great and nice. Like he was portion controlling everything.
Then he got too drunk.
And then we all got drunk, and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna wing it. You're still pouring. I know.
Yeah.
That's pure alcohol. I know.
Pure
All right.
alcohol. Speaking of that, I know today is a Sunday. Are the beer distributors open?
Beer distributors? They should.
I remember
Should
for a long
be.
time they wasn't, but I'm
I think
starting to wonder if they are.
I think that's more of a personal choice, just based on the owners.
Well, I'm gonna check the one because I've run out of that low carb, keto friendly alcohol.
Yeah, there's the one. There's not far from our house. Actually, there's two not far from our house. Wow, there's a lot of alcohol distributors very close to my house. As I'm sitting here thinking about it.
You picked that on purpose. When you were picking the house, you're
Probably
like...
subconsciously. I'm like, 30 seconds in any direction. I can go get wasted.
Wasted. I still kind of miss the days when... I don't do it anymore because I got to watch what I drink and all that and eat, but...
My Fitbit is screaming at me because my heart rate was through the roof from drinking. I'm like, shut up. I don't want to... Don't shame me. Don't judge me.
Your Fitbit's sitting there and it starts alerting you. Do you want me to call 911? You want...
It's just like, you are an absolute trash can. You need to stop doing whatever it is you're doing. But I don't want to.
I don't want it. The magical throat burny drink makes me feel good.
It's called Happy Juice.
Happy Juice.
And in my favorite line of all time, we just drink until we can't feel feelings anymore.
That's when it's good. But then you have to realize that the next day you're gonna have to.
I always love it. Everybody's like, well, you have to deal with it all once the effects wear off. I'm like, that's easy. Don't ever stop drinking.
Don't ever drink all the time, 24/7. And I think that's how an alcoholic's born.
I think I'm borderline at this point.
You're probably high functioning alcoholic, where you're able to get stuff done. But
I don't drink at work.
Good. You draw the line. That's good.
Yeah, that's about all I can say.
Yeah, I don't drink at work.
Man, this is a roller coaster of an episode there, guys.
There was a time when I used to work at the movie theater where
How are you guys not hammered 24/7 when you worked there?
Well, at first I wasn't. And then
well, the people you guys would have to deal with there. You sold tickets at a movie theater, and I've never seen people get so...
They get
angry.
They used to get so mad. I've had like my life threatened. It's like, as soon as you come out here, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, listen, dude, I'm working minimum wage. I'm just trying to pay some bills in college. And I'm sorry you showed up late for your movie. I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah, people are like, can I get a discount? And you're like, no. They're like, but the movie started. That's your fault.
Yeah.
That's not on me.
It's not on me.
Wait for the next showing.
It's not on me. It's not on the movie theater. It is just...
You showed up late. You don't get a discount because you're stupid.
You showed up late. You failed to do a basic thing you need to do as an adult. This is the consequence for your actions. There was a time until I quit there where every single break, and I was working there like full time, not full time, but it was pretty much full time, like just under full
so they don't have to give you benefits and a pay raise.
Yes. Literally run across the street where there would be a TGI Fridays. I would go to the bar, get hammered,
slam some drinks.
And this is on my break. So it's like half an hour. You have 30 minutes. So I had to get, like, within the span of 15 minutes, at least
Here's a 50. Give me drinks and don't stop until I leave.
I would literally do that and go back to work and finish my shift. And people, like, would notice a change.
Yeah, you're probably not as angry anymore.
Yeah, and they're just like, it's like, always after your break, Brandon, you just kind of seem real mellow. I'm like, who's Brandon? Drool coming out my mouth, a little vomit on my shirt, and I'm looking over, what are you talking about?
My name's Brady now. I don't want to be Brandon anymore.
I'm Brady. I'm Brady.
2 tickets to Star Wars is $74,000. Because you have terrible taste in movies.
2 full-quarter portion. Then I just smashed my head on the table, passed out. Yeah, one of my managers figured out what I was doing, and they were like, "Brandon, can we have a talk?" I'm like, "Yeah." Of course, after I went there, and they're like, "What do you do on Fridays?" And I was at the point where I didn't care. I'm like, "Oh, I drink," and they're just like, and you could see on their face that they were prepared to like talk it through and pull it out of me and make me feel guilty. No, I was just like, I go over and drink.
I drink because you guys suck. Whoa, my drop.
My drop is I like drop something important and like try to walk out the door and I don't have the key and I look over. I'm like, can you open that?
Yeah, I can't get out. Brandon, you have to pull it, not push.
Oh,
that's what she's. But really, bye.
Stumble out. Yeah, it's as soon as that was figured out, and then it was like a week later I quit, and then I transitioned to a job at a party store and a job at a Panera, if you can believe it. I worked at a party store. I if they paid more, not even a lot more, just a little more, I'd go back to that job. That job was fun. Not because it's always a party. Shut up. No,
take your corporate stupid line and get out of here.
It was so laid back just because it's a party store. All you would really do is hang out at the counter, stock some shelves, or sit behind the balloon counter and do balloon orders. And what I really like to do is some of the balloons that were considered defective, right? What I would do is, okay, so if you've ever been to a party store and get yourself some balloons, right? There's this gel that you put inside of it, and what it does is the gel makes it last for like 24 to 48 hours without even thinking about deflating. If you put too much of it though, with the helium, it still floats, but it doesn't float very high. It hovers about,
because it's too heavy.
It hovers about maybe a yard off the ground, maybe a little less. So what I would do on slow days is I would fill up a bunch of those, I'd put faces on them, and I'd put them down all the aisles. So someone's walking by and there's just a balloon. There's just a balloon floating down the aisle
with a
face about like a yard or like 2 feet or whatever off the ground, just floating.
And you're like, a good artist, so I bet they were pretty realistic faces.
Yeah, and then kids would come in and they would grab them and they're like, "I found this. Can I have it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, take it."
You're like, "Yeah."
And the kid's like, "Cool." Also, stealing candy was a huge thing there. People would come in and just steal candy. Like they would.
I thought you were gonna say like you and your coworkers took candy. I'm gonna be like, no, that's expected.
A lot of coworkers stole a lot of stuff from that place. I did not.
Yeah, just so
I actually liked it. Like literally, we left on such good terms. I can go back and be like, "Can I work for you?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
Nice.
Like I always liked those jobs, and if I only left because I got something that paid better, but something in my field. Other than that, like during the Halloween season, that's when it gets big. That's when it gets crazy. Like you have families fighting over costumes.
Every
people
college
trying
girl
on
has to go in there and be a slutty nurse.
Oh my gosh, I had to get so many, and I was so good at stocking the boxes and everything that my shifts I was just in the back room stacking boxes and getting costumes. It was great. I would just put on some music, listen to some tunes while I worked. It was mwah.
I'm so ready to go back to a job like that, where it's just low responsibility, and
like
you just I just want to chill out.
Like Geico. Even a caveman can do it. Like I want a job that a caveman can do.
Mm-hmm. My job is
whether it's stuck in boxes with costume or whether it's getting a club, bonking a woman over the head and dragging her to my cave. Like whatever job a caveman does.
That's about what a caveman did.
That is about what a caveman did.
He's just got to eat and he's got to have babies, and that's a caveman's job.
That is truly a caveman's job. Yeah, those two jobs. The Panera one got a little weird. Got a little strange.
Why is that? Every time I think of Panera, all I think is weird. Everybody's like, "I love Panera." I think I was in my mid-20s before I ever went to a Panera.
The first time I had Panera was when I worked at Panera.
Yeah, I like almost didn't. I knew of it, but I didn't consciously recognize it as a thing until my wife, dating at the time, she's like, "Let's go to Panera." I'm like, never been, have no interest. Went inside. I'm like, I don't know how this works. I don't know what I'm ordering. I don't know how their menu works.
And once you learn how the food's made, that's at any food place. Once you find out how the food's made, you're like, I'm never eating here again.
I don't care. I think even Taco Bell, because you can sit there and watch them make it, I still eat it. I still love it.
Taco Bell's different though. Taco Bell is just Taco Bell is the TLC of the food world. It's just trash, but you just want it more.
I told Kate, I'm like, if you ever die, I will fall within inside a week because of the amount of Taco Bell I will eat. I think my insides will explode. Like
It'll just be like
my organs will just slide out of me.
That sandy dog food, gritty ground beef will just explode.
I love it.
So good.
Why do I love it so much? I want it now.
I feel like they actually cook it in a sandblaster.
They probably do, and for some reason I just don't care.
They just put the beef in there and they close the lid on it and just blast it with sand, and they're like, "We cooked it, baby. We're ready to go." Yeah, that was Panera was weird because I was the only 25-year-old, and everyone else was in between the ages of
14 and
16 to 20.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Why are you working here?" I'm like, "Listen,
I needed a job. Why do you think?"
That is exactly it. I needed a job. And then I only worked there for a little while, and what was so sad though, their standards were so low that on my last day I came into work and they were like, "Oh, we have another dishwasher here." I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Do I need to stay?" Or...
Yeah, I asked him. I asked him, "Do I need to teach them? Why is it?" And the lady was like, "I'll be honest, I didn't think you were going to show up. No one shows up on their last day." I'm like, "Well, I'm here, so I'm going to work."
I showed up because I still want the money.
Yeah, and it's just their standards were so low, and it was like because they were all kids. It was the first job for all these kids.
That's any of them.
And all of them are just like, "I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know." Right? But also some of them were kind of lazy, and I was the only one who just knew what I was doing and got it done. And they're looking at me like, "Wow, like everything's cleaned up back here. Everything's done. We don't have to wait for the dishwasher to finish up." I'm like, "Yep. Can I go?"
Yeah, can I leave now? There's a TGI Fridays. It's calling my name.
Yeah, TGI Fridays. Their drinks are all overpriced, though.
Oh, yeah.
All of them overpriced. You can get the same effect by just going to the store, getting some kind of drink, and then just getting something to mix it with. You just pour a little bit and just, that's it. That's all you got to do. It's simple, but for some reason we have to have someone else do it for us because it tastes better. But that's true.
Oh yeah, anything you don't do yourself, that's the American way.
If you don't do it yourself and someone else does it, you're gonna enjoy it a lot more.
It's also gonna be even better if you can pay them less. You're overpaying for the drink, but that money's not going to them.
Oh no, definitely not.
You get off for just paying your corporate overlords to pocket that cash.
Wait, you get off to your corporate overlords? Everyone has their thing. We don't kink shame here.
Wait, I thought that's what a bar was for.
Just going into the bar.
Oh, take my money, please.
I know you're not getting this money. Oh,
$37 for this cocktail. Oh, yes, take it and give it to Big Daddy. Dude, you gotta stop.
The lady behind the bar is thinking, "I hate my job.
Yeah.
I hate my job. I hate my job."
Then she runs over to a different TGI Fridays and also gets hammered.
It's always TGI Fridays, though. That's...
Or Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's is...
I've never been to Dave & Buster's. You talk about it.
Because I know we don't have any
local, so someday. I think I would feel like that'd be a good summer trip.
I just want to buy a building around here and put one in.
Yeah, how's that going to work?
I don't know. I don't have the capital for that startup.
I don't have the capital.
But we'd be millionaires.
Would we, though?
Yes. People love that crap.
They do.
You know why? Because I love that crap.
Because I love that crap. Everyone else loves that crap. Crap. This is the
it's
Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance argument all over again.
I know, but it's just... People do love it because it's just you drink and you play games and you get food and everything's overpriced, but you know it's going to be overpriced and it's consistent. So, and we also have winter, 11 and a half months out of the year here.
For real. It really
so there's not much else to do, so.
The amount of that snow buildup I have to break off my car. There was a mound in front of where I park my car at my house where I push it all after I knock it off. And it is rivaling the size of the little snowbank that I shovel in front of it. They are about the same height. And just to give you a little context on how tall that is, maybe 5 foot.
I can't get out, or I couldn't get into my vehicle because I brushed all the snow off, and we snowblowed, and so yeah, there was like a 3 or 4 foot high wall of packed snow. It's not the light fluffy crap that you can walk through. And I pushed more off of the truck, and it fell on the side, and I couldn't get in, so I had to get in through the passenger side like a douchebag and crawl over my seats to get to the driver's side. I was not happy.
That's what you do when you live in an area with snow. Also, snow's like terrible for your skin, my skin especially. My lips are
my
all
hands.
chapped.
I'm 30, but I look like I have the hands of a 75-year-old.
My hands are all cracked. Also, so I got that. Well, I don't know if a lot of people see it, but you'll see it online in advertisements. Dr. Squatch soap.
Oh, I've definitely seen the advertisements. Does it work at all or not?
I mean, it's just a bar of soap. It smells really nice, but the last one I used, I've developed a strange rash from it. So, like, my soap is, like, trying to kill me, I think. But I don't know if it's that or if it's, like, maybe poison ivy. Because I'm super sensitive to that.
Oh, you're one of those people who can, like, walk by it, not even touch it and get it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, it probably happened like that.
I need to find some poison ivy, and I need to rub it, like, on my hand, because I want to find out if I'm one of those people who's immune to it or not.
Well, there are people who are immune to it, and I used to be, like, immune to it for the longest time, but with your allergies and stuff, it breaks down over time.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's the other way, where it's the more you expose yourself, the stronger you get. No, the more you expose yourself, the more your body breaks down. You're like, I can't handle this anymore, dude.
Your body's like, I give up. I'm hitting TGI Fridays. Yes, I'm going to use that joke again and again and again.
Seriously,
but...
like, look at that spot. You can see that from here. From there. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's right in the pit of my
arm.
arm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's that or if it's, like, allergic reaction, because there's 2 other spots. One on my thigh and then one on my right eye, which you can't tell.
No,
but if you look really close, it's on the outside of the edge. It's red and puffy.
I feel like that's the soap, then.
I'm feeling it's more soap, but also like poison ivy. If you get it on your fingers and like itch your leg or something, it's going to transfer there. I don't know. I like the soap. I haven't used bar soap in so long, and I'm like, wow.
I had to stop
because I feel like I'm a man.
I had to stop because I'm a baby, and it was destroying my skin.
Really, bar soap?
Yeah. This is just me I should have warned you before you came over. I'm just going to be an angry white man today because I'm truly tired, and I apologize to listeners for being so low energy. This is very unprofessional. I still blame Travis.
Still blame Travis.
Yes. I'm going to blame him the whole time.
We blame Travis. That's okay. We can throw the blame here.
Also, speaking of poison ivy, I wonder if anybody... I know it's happened. But if any of our listeners this has happened to, if they've ever, done it in the woods, done the deed in the woods, and accidentally done it in some poison ivy.
That would be terrible.
Imagine the places it would go.
That would be awful. And poison ivy is so terrible for me, who just
You're just in the shower crying. You're like, it won't stop.
I literally remember on the back of my legs, I got it so bad when I was a kid that the only way I would get relief is like I would back myself up to the couch, and on the edge of the couch, I would rub my legs up. I would sit down and just put my legs up and down, and they were like raw and bleeding. My mom's like, "What is this on the couch?" I'm like, "I can't stop. Help me."
Why is there blood on the couch? There's blood and shit all over the couch. I'm sorry, it just won't stop.
Why is there shit on there? Like during it, you're like, I need to poop, but all right, and you just destroy your couch.
I'm trying to rub the feces into the wounds to make it stop itching.
I don't think that's how that works.
No,
that is how you get diseases.
That is how you lose your legs.
Oh my gosh, and I'm just in complete misery. I even had a time too when I was younger when I got it all over the front of me. And the only way I could sleep at night is on my stomach, because if there wasn't pressure being pushed against it, it would just sit there and be agitated for existing. It was so nasty. There were times I had to wrap all my arms because it would just go up and down my arms. And that's from now on.
I'm imagining you just completely saran wrapped every time you go into the woods.
That is pretty much it now. Whenever I go into the woods to with my dad, when we got to bring in firewood or help him with something, or just to take the dogs out for a walk. Now, if I'm taking the dogs for a walk, I stay on the path. I'm vigilant. I just wear whatever. But if I'm going in the woods, you best believe heavy duty jeans, socks pulled up outside of the jeans. I am wearing a very loose dress shirt, but underneath I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. And this is like with the heat that we have out here. And I'm buttoning that up to the top. I am wearing a hat to pull back my hair. My glasses are pulled back. There's a bandana on to absorb the sweat, so I'm not sitting there going, whoo. I am wearing gloves. The sleeve goes over the gloves. We need to get you like
the biohazard
I just need a biohazard suit because that's pretty much what I do. It is so bad. And since I've like taken the steps to be super careful in the woods like that, I haven't gotten it bad as I used to. But I feel like over like these spots, these aren't bad. That's nothing. I'm like, oh, that's a patch of dry, itchy skin, whatever. Like these would be boils. They would be exploding.
Nope.
The skin would tear. Yeah.
Nope.
Poison ivy meat, we're not friends.
Man, nature's weird.
Nature is
it's just designed to kill us.
Kind of crazy. If you really sit there and actually study it, it's nuts.
That's the high level intellectual thoughts I bring to this podcast. Nature be cray.
Yo, nature be cray. I saw like a dinosaur the other day.
Dude, dinosaurs, have you seen them? They were weird. You see that documentary about them called like Jurassic Park or something? They ate a bunch of people.
If you had the power to go back in time and share your knowledge with the people of the past, you'd go back in time.
I wouldn't share the knowledge. I would just
people
mess
are
with them.
surrounding you almost in a biblical proportion of like
this man,
he knows everything.
He came from the stars. He is God. God, give us your knowledge.
Why does this happen in nature? How do the plants grow? And you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know. Just Google it, dude.
What is the secret? How do we ascend to this next level? Wipe front to back.
All right, wipe front to back.
That makes no sense.
Wipe front to back.
You have to like cock your arm at this weird. I don't know why they're British all of a sudden, but
because I'm thinking more like Middle Eastern, biblical
like where life
era.
Actual started,
and you literally just went down the route of all right, they're all British, so it's just a Monty Python skit now.
Really, at this point, you can't cock your. I don't want to be like super racist. I can't do in Middle Eastern accent.
I mean, but you're just gonna be racist toward the British people.
Yeah, but they're used to it. No one cares anymore.
They're across the pond. Yeah. They're fine.
I love a British accent. That's the thing. That's why I always go to it.
So, are you telling me that
except from Wales, and you're going to Wales? I'm sorry, Welsh.
Get out of here with your Wales nonsense.
I can't get my hand back up under there.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's like scream talking.
What is the Australian version of that? Is it Bogan?
I do not know a lot of geographical areas for Australia.
Well, okay. So my apologies. Every country, every culture, they have the equivalent of rednecks to us, right? We have the normal talking people who talk with a little bit of accent, and then the people just like, man, I sure do love screwing my cousin.
It's almost. Have you ever actually talked to somebody like with the real thick accent?
Yeah,
like
and
that?
You can't understand them.
Yeah, I almost got in a fight because I'm like, I don't. What? Dude, I speak English. I speak American English. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, so I know like Australia has like I think it's something like Bogan, and
isn't that in like the center? Like because it's a lot. Most of again, I apologize to if we have any Australian listeners, but isn't like most of their civilization like closer to the coast, and then a more centered is kind of like our rednecky area.
I think. I don't know. I don't
know geographic.
Honestly, the only thing I know about like Australia is that like
love their accents.
No, they have fantastic accents, but I was just gonna say pretty much like Mad Max Fury Road is a very realistic depiction of Australia. But there's just a few more spiders the size of dogs, and that's about it.
That's why I was like, man, I'd love to go live in Australia. And then you look it up, and they're like, everything here will kill you. I'm like, nope, not that brave. Not that brave.
You wouldn't even take people back in time that knowledge. Like, oh, beware of this. Whenever this plague happens, just do this. We'll be okay, right? No, you go tell them, like, back to front. And like, so you're telling me that I gotta cock my arm?
I gotta throw my cake up in the air and get my arm through the light. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what to tell you, man, but I'm from a utopia.
Wipe back to front. All right, I'm getting in my ship. I'll see you later. I'll see you cool cats later. You get in your ship and just fly off in the sky, and there's an entire civilization
that devolves into chaos because half of them want to do it and half of them don't.
And there's two factions, two sides. There's a side that like they have statues of like
God has spoken.
They have statues of a statue made of marble of the naked man wiping front to back.
It's just me, like, with my crappy, scraggly beard and my hair pulled back and my crabby little ponytail and just bent over butt-ass naked.
Wiping front to back. And then there's the radicals that come in and with guerrilla warfare, and they're like, you can wipe however you want. Firing an AK in the air.
That's what the U.S. is going to be in a couple years. That's how stupid we are. Fighting over something like that.
They're just wiping their. It's just how you wipe your butt. That's how, Oh my gosh, I could see this being a movie, and there's like a love interest of like the guy who's like the head of the capital city that is the front of the church, and it's like
naive, girl who's always followed the word of God and wiped front to back, even though she hates it. No, I was gonna say the other way around. The girl's the rebel. And in a terroristic attack, he survives, and for some reason she saves him because like we're not all monsters. We just like to wipe our butts the way we want to. Mm-hmm. And he's like, but you have to do front to back. And then he joins the rebel resistance once they like, all right, we're gonna do it to him. We're gonna show him how wonderful it is. And then they just hit him with a bidet, and he's like, oh, I see the light. Then they come back down on their ship, and it's like, whoa, you guys got to learn sarcasm.
Dude, I have no idea.
He's just
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I didn't mean to destroy like civilization with a joke.
That is pretty much the Rick and Morty episode where Rick has an entire universe as his car battery, and he goes in there. I don't know if you've ever seen it. He goes in.
I think actually I might.
He goes into that. It's a little universe. He goes in that universe, and they're all like, "Oh my god, it's God. He's back."
Oh yeah, and then don't they like constantly go into smaller and smaller universes? Or
yeah,
something?
because the scientists there made a universe, and
they're like, "This is how we can power it without us doing it. We'll create
because it was
a universe."
It was the two cranks they would pull, and it would power everything in the universe, which would power Rick's car. And then you go like to the end, and instead of cranks, it was like the stair climber thing that everyone was on. Yeah, that's pretty much what you just did. You just showed up, you're like, and then you show up, you're like, I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. Listen, Travis made some strong drinks. I'm really hungover. I just came back because I forgot my keys to my car. I'll see you later. They're just like laying there on the ground.
You're like, yeah, I forgot my house keys.
Sorry.
Bye.
And everyone's sitting there.
Wait. What's the proper way? Dude, I don't talk about that kind of stuff in like all seriousness. That's personal to me.
And then there's just there's just a revolution that just tears the whole entire society apart.
Well, then the church guys all just fall to their knees and start crying.
They're like, it's a lie!
Everything we've ever known is a lie!
All wiping front to back. I feel like their version of the Bible would be toilet paper. It would be written on the sacred text, on the sacred parchment.
Oh my god!
And like the greatest.
Imagine their Sistine Chapel.
Oh my gosh! Everything would be teepeed, not as trying to do a prank. That's how they decorate everything. They teepee everything. Yeah, I kind of like this universe. I'd hang out there for a while.
If anybody's an artist, please do an anime of that.
An entire anime.
Just a quick short film.
Yeah, just a quick short film. Yeah. Short films range from like 10 to 15 minutes, and there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot that goes into anything if you really look at it. Video games, books.
Well, I'm God and I have spoken, so I still want one.
Wipe front to back. Since you bring that up to close out today's episode, because we're doing a bit of a shorter one because of all the previously mentioned things.
Oh yeah, how is your laptop not dead yet?
It's getting there. It's you front to back? Are you back to front? You a bidet? What kind of man are you?
I would love to get a bidet, but I'm not that fancy.
I know that you can get one that clips to your toilet, but if I were to get a bidet, I'm getting a real one, and I'm not going to mess with a clip. I would like to try it first. Everyone swears by it.
I've heard people talk about how it like actually changes their lives, and I'm like,
Really?
you're exaggerating, and they're like, no, like you just feel so much cleaner. You feel like a whole new person.
A whole new person.
And I'm like, isn't that bad though? Because like, you have it, cool, but if you go out into the world where these still aren't super common, like.
Because over in Europe, they're all super common. I mean, you get bidets everywhere.
Yeah, because they're fancy, and they're like, we don't want to touch our assholes.
Yeah.
And here in America, we're like, I'm going to get all up in there.
I'm going to put this Coke in my own butt. Florida man.
Who's going to do that clip was still one of my favorite.
Who's going to do the Coke? No one. We just want it in our butts.
Nobody here does coke, you addict. We just want it inside our butts.
So you definitely deflected the question of.
I was waiting to see how.
Yeah, you deflected the question because.
Cake up in the air and wiping. I ain't.
Cake up in the air and wiping.
Yeah.
I wasn't even asking like if you lean or stand up because I know people who squat. They hover.
How? That would kill my knees.
Oh my gosh! Like, and I'd even try it. And I'm sitting there, and it was like, the thing is to hover, you would have to like. I don't know. Maybe they have calves and maybe they have thighs that are like sculpted like Egyptian or Greek gods, and they're just like, oh yeah, I could just do this and wait. But like, when they get tiring, I just do the lean. I just lean a little bit.
I think that's what most people. I know this has been a topic on other podcasts, and I like. This has been a conversation.
Oh yeah,
online.
You made it. In
Everybody's
the
always
when you have this discussion.
Yeah, everybody's like they're laughing because they argue like, "There's not how I did it," and that's everybody's always like, "Yeah, how did we all learn all these different ways? Like, do your parents just like not teach you this, or there's like, all right, just clean your butthole and come out." Like,
yeah, clean your butthole. Figure that out. Yeah, I mean, all right. Since you're a coward and aren't afraid to say it, I do the lean. And I do both.
Oh no, I wasn't kidding. I do
the
cake up in the air and wipe. I ain't.
You do. What do you mean cake up in the air? Do you just
clear the toilet?
Do you lean forward and put your face on the floor so your cake
I'm not
is
that
all the way
agile.
in there? Like all the way in the air, and you just scoop it out.
Barehanded scoop it. I'm sorry. I hope somebody was just
get it into my fingernails, so when I scratch my eye, I'll get pink eye.
All right. I regret the joke. I regret the joke.
I go the route of both. You lean a little bit, and you go front to back, or maybe I'm feeling back to front.
To be perfectly honest, in all seriousness, and I don't know how serious of a conversation we can have about wiping your butthole, but it depends on the toilet. If you were like one of those companies and there's a special place in hell for you who get like those real tiny toilet seats.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I am not a big dude, and I have an even smaller than normal butt, and if I have trouble sitting on there, you're going to hell.
Yes.
Get us toilet seats. Did we lose it?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. It came up and said, Brandon, you might want to plug in your computer because I'm your computer and I'm a little bit of a bitch today.
I didn't get my mocha frappuccino with 3 espresso pumps and I'm tired and I need to go to bed. All right, I'll stop. But anyway, it depends on the toilet. If it's too small, I'm just lifting my ass in the air and going to town. Because
so you squat or you like stand up?
I like squat. Oh, you can't stand fully up. That's like closing the Great Sea, and then you're just gonna mush it all together. That's disgusting.
That is this. Yeah, I'm just.
But I am not going to risk touching the toilet seat with my hand if it is too small of that opening, because people are absolutely disgusting, and I am not taking that risk.
I understand that, but there's more germs on a doorknob and or a cell phone screen compared to a toilet seat.
But it's mental.
It's like that mental.
It's what it is used for, and I'm like, I'm not doing it.
My favorite thing to do when I used to go back to, when I worked full time at my job and we actually had a building before they're just like, all right, no one goes to the building anymore because of COVID. I always really liked blowing up the bathrooms of because they had like regular bathrooms for the people that would come in and out, but they also had special bathrooms, and there was no rule about like the one person bathroom, right? So I would like pick this one bathroom next to this lady's office. I would nuke it. I would go in there just like bam, right? And then as I'm leaving, like the lady, like we make eye contact. I'm sitting there. I know what I did.
Yeah,
she knows what I did. She's like, I hate this place, and I'm sitting there like,
you left the door open. I'm right here. Brandon, we both know what you're gonna do, and you're just like, I feel great. My desk is all the way over there.
My desk was like trapped in a cubicle on the other side of the entire building. I would go all the way across, navigate this little rat maze to get to this bathroom on the other side. And the lady like figured it out that I would only go there, and she's sitting there, and she would like scowl at me when I walk by because she knows what I'm gonna do.
I hope you waved at her.
I'm like, hello. I just say the hello like, I don't...
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll see you in hell, bitch.
They had to put a notice on the women's bathroom at my work because it's a manufacturing type establishment, so most of the floor workers are men. And instead of walking the extra 20 feet to the men's restroom, there was one inside for the convenience of a lot of the office workers who were women, or there's a couple women on the floor. Anyway... There's no women on second shift there, and so the guys would just go in and use their bathroom. And an office worker went in there one morning, and it was apparently just
destroyed.
They nuked it hard. And she's like, no one else is here. That means dudes are coming in here. And they had to put a sign on there that was like, guys, not your bathroom. Don't use it. And I was crying. I'm like, in a full-on business, you still have to tell people.
And that's like a professional job. Like, you would hope all the people you hire are professional, but then you got people like me who's doing that crap, so I could see. No pun intended. You could see literally what was happening. When I worked at the party store, every morning we'd have to check the bathrooms and clean them up just like every night.
Ugh.
The girls' bathroom was always infinitely worse than the guys. And I'm not even talking about, like, the feminine products, things related to that. I'm talking about, like, they just take massive dumps and leave them in the toilet. And there's no toilet paper in the toilet. So I'm sitting there looking at it like, we have someone running around here with a dirty ass.
Ugh. Aren't there people who, like, don't believe in wiping or something?
I think people believe in everything and anything.
I know, it's...
Yeah, like...
It does make my brain hurt most days. And then
but sometimes a good wipe is what you... I'll sometimes go to the bathroom, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I still feel like I have to poop, but I don't have to poop. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Once I wipe once, my body's like, we're clean down here. No more poop, right? My body's like reminding me to be sure to wipe because it's giving me that sensation I still have to go to the bathroom. And I think that's just my body trying to keep me in check. And then there's other people who just apparently, like at the party store, they're just sitting there just taking huge dumps and then they just leave.
I ain't got time for that. Yeah, you're at a party store. You have time.
Yeah, I don't understand why like a party store would have a bathroom. Kind of like any kind of electronics store. Why
I'm not going to lie, though. If you are an establishment, I don't care what it is, have a bathroom. Have one available for public use.
I've
been in very sketchy situations where I walk in, I'm like, where's your guys' restroom? And they're like, we don't have one. I'm like, you gotta let me use the employee one then. They're like, we don't do that. I'm like, I can either use the employee restroom or I can use your floor. I'm like, I do not have the capacity to walk out of this building, so...
I went to one store, and I always like when they hand you the giant wooden stick with the key on it, and they're like, all right, go to the bath. Like,
yeah.
It's almost a little... everyone has to go to the bathroom. Everyone poops. I don't care what you say or what you think.
Even 2-year-olds know everybody poops.
Exactly. Everyone poops. But whenever you go to an establishment like that, there's a little bit of like a... I gotta go to the bathroom. You feel like almost like, I don't know.
Are you gonna buy something? No. I would not have stopped if this wasn't an emergency.
Yeah, and you're just kind of like, you shrug at them, and you're just like, thanks, I guess. I don't know. It's a little humiliating, like, just asking them for the wooden stick.
Other countries have full-on semen collectors out in their streets, so people would stop publicly masturbating.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so next week we're gonna...
I just want to say we are podcasting gods, because I think we just turned wiping your butt into like a 10-minute conversation.
That's when you know you made it.
Riveting.
That's when
riveting stuff.
That's when you absolutely know that the podcast has finally come together and you have found your own. Is when you're talking about: do you lean? Do you not? Do you squat? Do you hover? Do you wipe front to back?
Also, by the way, guys, buymeacoffee.com/lastpodcast. Please donate. Or it sure is a podcast. I'm sorry, I definitely just plugged a different giant podcast corporation. It sure is a podcast. Buy me a coffee / it sure is a podcast.
Eric, you don't even know what it is. It's ISIA podcast.
ISIA.
Oh. All right, so next episode, Eric, you gotta get at least like one full night of sleep before I let you on here.
I'll just pound espressos so I have more.
Pound espressos, and you'll be sitting over there jittering like.
Mike's just gonna be like this the whole time.
Yeah. Since you already did that, instead of me going through and finding the file of what I recorded,
you should probably just cut me out. Just bleep it.
Just bleep everything. No, here's what I'll do. I'll just cut out your audio and I'll just talk to myself this whole time.
I still think we should do an episode like that. That would be hilarious.
I just cut you out completely and just throw it up there. Mm-hmm. All right, ways you can support the podcast if you're interested in that. There's an Instagram. It sure is a podcast. There's a Twitter @sure_podcast. You have the Buy Me a Coffee. Which is www.buymeacoffee.com/ISIA podcast. You can just throw a few bucks and go on your way. Or you can just tell a friend. Okay, see, that's how you do it. You don't plug Tiny Meat Gang or whatever you just did.
No, last podcast on the left. One of the largest and well-known podcasts.
Yeah, I always see that on Spotify. I'm like, that ain't mine. I don't give a shit.
It's because podcast is in the name. I know that's a crappy excuse, but my brain short-circuited, and it was like, just pick something with the name podcast in it.
Pick something with the podcast and just throw it out there. Try to shill, and then I have to come in and save the day with the, all right, let me graceful.
You knew who I was when you brought me.
When you invited me, you knew what you were getting into.
No, but in all seriousness, as they're like, 2% left? Do I have 30 seconds?
Yeah, we're at 3.
Oh, crap. All right, real fast then. But seriously, guys, anybody who listens, we would really appreciate if you could donate. We'd love to start doing more. I do actually have a few ideas, but we could use a little bit of support. So either way, thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. Sorry for the low energy. I'll pound espressos and be jittery next episode.
All right. Thanks for listening. Love you guys. See you in the next one.